We continue now with our theme of highlights from Talkback. This is installment 44. In the last installment, installment 43, I concluded the three-finger gestures. Today, I'll be starting on the four-finger gestures, the last gestures found within Talkback. For today's demonstration, I am utilizing my Pixel 6 Pro with Android 13 Beta 4 and Talkback 13.0. For speech services, I am utilizing the Google Speech Services, which has become my chosen TTS engine. I am on the home screen now and will tap with three fingers to invoke the Talkback menu, and we'll go from here.
Talkback menu. Actions in list.
We are now in the Talkback menu. The next thing we want to do here is to tap on Talkback settings. I'll put a finger down and tap on Talkback settings.
Talkback settings.
Here is Talkback settings. I'll tap here to activate Talkback settings.
Talkback settings. Navigate up button out of list.
I am in the Talkback settings, and you would need to now scroll up by putting two fingers in the middle of the phone and then glide those fingers upwards to move you toward the bottom of the screen and find and tap on Customize Gestures. But if you have a tall enough of a phone, then toward the bottom you will find the Customize Gestures without the need of scrolling down the page. I will now put my finger down and tap on Customize Gestures.
Customize gestures.
Here is Customize Gestures. We'll tap here to take us to the customization page of the gestures, and I'll go ahead and tap here.
Customize gestures out of list.
I am now on the customization page of the gestures, and this is the time for us now to change our granularity to the headings mode. In other words, we need to either swipe up and down with one finger in one fluid movement to change those granularities, or swipe down with three fingers, or swipe from left to right, or from right to left with three fingers to change those granularities. As I've indicated time and time again, I tend to prefer using the up-down scrubbing movement with one finger, and thus now I will scrub up and down with one finger to change my granularity. However, I do believe, though, that I already am in the headings mode, and all that we need to do now, after you've changed and set your granularity to the headings mode, we'll simply swipe down with one finger and keep doing so until we hear it say four-finger gestures. I will now start swiping with one finger and keep doing so until I hear four-finger gestures. Here we go.
One finger heading in list.
Swipe down.
One finger back and forth heading.
Swipe down.
One finger angle heading. Showing items 7 to 17 of 51.
Let's swipe down.
Two fingers heading. Showing items 17 to 26 of 51.
We are now on two-finger gestures and two more swipes, and that should take us to the four-finger gestures heading. Here I go.
Three fingers heading. Showing items 26 to 36 of 51.
Now, one more last swipe.
Four fingers heading.
Here is my four fingers heading. The first item we want to look at here will be this item.
Tap with four fingers, practice gestures.
Tap with four fingers to practice gestures. In other words, whenever and wherever you are on your phone, if your phone does support the multi-finger gestures, when you tap with four fingers, that takes you to the practicing page of the Talkback gestures. For instance, I will demonstrate this by tapping with four fingers, and that should take me to the page where I could practice all the Talkback gestures. Here's what I'm talking about, and I'll now tap with four fingers.
Practice gestures. Try any talkback gesture on this screen to hear what that gesture does. Tap the screen with 2 fingers. Keep practicing by tapping once, twice, or 3 times with 2, 3, or 4 fingers. You can also double tap and hold with 2, 3, or 4 fingers, out of list.
So here we are on the practicing page of the gestures, and in other words, you can try all the finger gestures and it will tell you what each of those things does if they are supported. So for example, I will tap with 2 fingers, just once.
Tap with 2 fingers, pause or resume speech.
Tapping with 2 fingers tells me that pauses and resumes speech. In other words, it's a toggle. So if I were reading something and I tap, it will stop reading what I'm reading. And if I tap again, that should resume my reading. I'll now tap with 2 fingers.
Double tap with 2 fingers, play or pause media.
Double tap with 2 fingers, pause or play media, or rather play or pause media. So it's a toggle. I also do want to mention here in passing that in many circumstances, that double tapping with 2 fingers will also answer phone calls and hang up phone calls. And of recent, we have discovered that that even works when one is answering or hanging up WhatsApp calls. Next, I'm going to triple tap with 2 fingers.
Triple tap with 2 fingers, read from next item.
Now let's try something. I'm going to tap with 3 fingers.
Tap with 3 fingers, open Talkback menu.
Now I'm going to tap and hold with 2 fingers.
Double tap and hold with 2 fingers, start or end selection mode.
Now you get the drift. So that is what this page would do. And at the bottom here, we have the finish. In other words, if you've finished all the gestures that you want to try, then at the bottom of the screen is the finish button. So I'll now tap on finish.
Finish button. Talkback settings. Tap with 4 fingers, practice gestures in list.
And that concludes our first look of the 4-finger gestures, which is the tapping with 4 fingers to practice the talkback gestures.